So the next type of sets I want to tell you about are the opposite of straight sets, and these are called alternating sets. So this is where, instead of doing multiple sets of the same thing in succession, you create a succession of exercises that each work out different muscle groups, okay? So this is beneficial because when training antagonistic muscles together in succession, you do not have to rest for very long in between sets because your muscles are already going to be resting. So if you're doing an exercise for back and then legs and then chest and then shoulders and then coming back to your back, well, your back has probably had a good 5 minutes of recovery time while you were doing all of these other sets. So it's a highly efficient use of your time, which rules out all of the sitting around waiting for your muscle to be recovered enough to do the next set, which is extremely boring and also a pain in the ass when there's someone waiting to use the equipment. I just found that this is great for time management, but also you are staying constantly active when you are doing alternating sets, okay? And when you think about it, most people who are doing straight sets, even if they're only resting for like a couple of minutes between sets, most of their sets are not taking as long as their rest periods, so their workout actually ends up being mostly them sitting around and only being active for a fraction of that time, all right? But you should be doing more moving than resting when you are working out, okay? Because otherwise your workout is going to be devoid of many important health properties. You should be working out to get healthier more than anything else, all right? And so for that to be the case, you need to have 30 minutes of constant moving aerobic exercise per day. And why not kill two birds with one stone, right? Why have to tack on 30 minutes of aerobics or cardio at the end of your weight training hypertrophy routine when you could just rearrange your sets so that they alternate and then do them in a rapid succession with very short rest periods in between, however long it takes you to, get to the next exercise and get it all set up and start doing it, so that your workout becomes fast-paced and more like a steady state cardio or aerobics workout that will give you a much better workout that will have so many more health benefits and make you more athletic as well. So I'm a huge advocate for alternating sets and recommend everyone do them, especially if you hate doing cardio. This is the best way to get your cardio out of the way while doing the exercises that you actually enjoy, right? So you will never find me on a treadmill, okay? I just design my workouts with alternating sets and do them in a rapid succession so that I'm getting cardio while training. But this isn't just great for athletes like me who hate cardio but need to do it because we're athletes, right? This is also great for people who want to lose weight. And in fact, that's what people are doing in weight loss and aerobics classes. It is a full class of very fast alternating sets. So these are highly useful for many purposes. And when alternating sets are done as an entire workout, it is called interval training. However, and you go through a specific succession of alternating sets multiple times, that is called circuit training, okay? You're doing a circuit of alternating sets multiple times. So the types of alternating sets I do in my workout would be interval training because I do every set once. And the type of training that you would see in a weight loss or aerobics class would usually be circuit training because they're going through the same exercise circuit multiple times. But whether you choose to do interval training or circuit training, I highly recommend doing alternating sets almost exclusively, okay? This is the type of set that I would say you should be doing more than any of the others. However, you still do want to pepper in some of the others, okay? But anytime you are doing multiple sets of the same exercise in a workout, instead of doing a set of that exercise and then sitting there and waiting for your muscles to recover for a couple minutes or however long it takes, and then doing another set of it, and then waiting around again and doing another set, just insert other exercises into those rest periods between the sets. Because unless you are strength training and really need absolute rest in between your sets, there's no reason to be just sitting around doing nothing when you came to the gym to exercise, right? You should be getting more activity than rest, not the other way around. And why not just kill two birds with one stone and work out another muscle while the muscle that you just worked out rests, and then come back to it after you've done another muscle, and that muscle will rest while you retrain the first one, okay? I just don't see why anyone would want to do straight sets when they can kill two birds with one stone, accomplish a better, more metabolic workout, and get twice the amount of work done in half the time. So that's why I love alternating sets, all right? I get such a better workout than anyone doing straight sets in half of the time. And making the change from straight sets to alternating sets will really revolutionize your training, because it's the difference between a workout that is anaerobic or does not produce oxygenation of the blood and a workout that is aerobic and does produce oxygenation of the blood, and thus all of the health benefits that go along with it. And it's also the difference between a workout that takes an hour and a half versus a workout that takes 45 minutes to do the same amount of work, or could do double the work in an hour and a half. So obviously I love alternating sets, but in full disclosure, there are some trade-offs, and it's not without its cons. Okay, so alternating sets where you are bouncing around from piece of equipment to piece of equipment and trying to constantly stay active does sometimes get to be a pain in the ass, especially if you are going to the gym during the peak hours. All right, so if there's a lot of people at the gym, you're probably going to find that you aren't able to achieve the kind of speed and intensity that you want to, and that most of the machines you go to are already occupied and you have to end up waiting for them anyways. And so if that's the case for you and you can't work out any other time of day where you would be able to go to the gym when it's mostly unoccupied, then alternating sets are not for you, but I would try to, arrange your schedule so that you can at least do circuit or interval training, some of the time, maybe once or twice a week if possible. Now, when you're doing alternating sets, what's ideal is to have half a minute or less between exercises, all right, as little time as possible, because what you want is to get no more than 5 minutes between each muscle getting worked out again, okay? So ideally it should take you 5 minutes to go and train all the different muscles you're going to train in between each muscle, all right? So if you start with back like I did in that analogy, right, and then you do legs and then chest and then shoulders before coming back to back again, well, ideally all of the sets and rests between them that you've done in that time would not have taken much more than 5 minutes, because if your muscle's getting much more than 5 minutes rest between exercises, that is too much rest. So that's why if you're doing this type of training and you cannot keep up a high speed with it, then what happens is your muscles are getting too much rest in between sets, and it's just better to do straight sets or some other type of variation that I'm going to teach you about.